Broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Welcome, friends. Very good morning to all of you. I welcome you in this webinar series that we are starting from 9th of May 2020, and wherein we are intending to discuss the various important case laws. So, today's session, we are not going to have a discussion on the case law, but the entire structure of the series I would like to discuss with all of you. And in case you have any suggestions, then you can send those suggestions either on the mobile numbers uh, which are written here on your screen. I will be providing it again, or the email ID which I will be giving after this session, or we also are intending to create a separate group, a WhatsApp group, wherein you can post whatever queries or whatever suggestions you have, and we'll have a separate query page also wherein you can post the queries, and we'll prefer that you post the queries in that page. So friends, let me begin, and let me try to share my thoughts. And before sharing my thoughts, let me share what was the reason that I thought of this particular series. The main reason of thinking about this series was that we are already doing one series which was or which is in relation to the analysis of sections. Each and every section of CGST and IGST we are trying to cover into that. Over and above that, I received many requests wherein the participants have asked me to share the case laws, to touch upon the issues and all. So I intended to touch on the issues as well as the case laws, but because of the paucity of time and because of the intention of that particular series of discussing only the sections or and the provisions, even I'm not discussing rules there, even I'm not discussing surplus. For surplus, we are having a separate series. We are uploading the videos for that. And for surplus, we'll be announcing yet another series, which will be again after the completion of this section-wise series. We'll be starting a series on the rules also. So I thought of starting this case law analysis series, wherein I, along with you, and rather I would say we together are going to learn how to read the case laws, how to interpret it, and what can be the ways and means in which we can learn the allied laws which are applicable to all of us. Because allied laws are also very important. Like if we are dealing with the provisions which is pertaining to search, or if we are dealing with the provision which is pertaining to arrest, and there is a cognizance or there is a reference of code of civil procedure or criminal procedure code, then at least we should be aware about those provisions which are applicable. If we are reading the definition of lease or easement, then we need to have the understanding of Transfer of Property Act. If we are referring something which can be used as an evidence, then we need to have the understanding of the Indian Evidence Act. So friends, this was the intention, that I thought that why not start a separate series altogether, wherein we together will be learning the case laws, which are going to be very important, and along with those readings and learnings, we'll also find the solutions to our issues. So that is the intention of starting this workshop or this series. So I'll just share my screen, and accordingly we'll be starting the discussions. Is my screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So friends, just a small walkthrough I would like to have today, not a detailed discussion about the cases. That will be starting from Saturday, and we have 10 sessions, and thereafter two additional sessions. I will be giving the entire discussion and entire details today. And whatever queries or suggestions if you have, then you can post those suggestions also within this 5 days, and then we can take up and collide all those suggestions, and accordingly we can move ahead from Saturday onwards. That is the intention of today's assembly, that I wanted just all of you to be with me for half an hour, and so that we can discuss how we are planning this, and this can also be an opportunity wherein your suggestions can be taken up and it can be invoked. It can be like used for the benefit of all the participants and this series. Friends, this is what I am intending to cover in the series. First, important judgments in GST. Now, when I say important judgments in GST, I do not mean that uh, all the judgments are going to be taken up. But yes, as I said at the initial stage when I was announcing this scheme or this webinar, at that point of time, I shared that we'll be sharing at around 30 to 50 decisions, and which are the decisions which are finally given by the honorable courts at various point in time in last 33 months, which may be pertaining to the provisional attachment provisions, which may be pertaining to arrest provisions, which may be pertaining to the 3B issues, which may be pertaining to the transitional credits, which may be pertaining to any other relevant issues, including the interest matter. Now, the intention was, and intention is rather, to cover all the aspects and all kind of case laws. So what we have done is we have divided the entire section or entire act. Like we'll try to cover CGST, IGST, UTGST, and the compensation cess. Any case law pertaining to these four acts we are intending to cover in this, and rules obviously are included. So we are intending to cover this. So what we have done is we have divided the sections into 10 parts. Like in totality, if I assume that there are 250 sections, so what I am trying to or intending to do is I'll be dividing 250 sections into 10 parts. So 25 sections each will come into all the relevant case laws we are going to research, we are going to find out, and out of those 25 sections, whatever case laws I find that these case laws are relevant, these case laws may have some precedence in the future, or are certainly required to be discussed in the fraternity, then I will pick up cases and will try to cover at least 10 cases, minimum 5 cases per session. That is my target, so that in 10 sessions we cover at least 50 cases. And when I say 50 cases, it does not mean only 50 cases are counted. It may include the reference cases also, wherein the reference has been given. I'll show you the format also, in the format in which our book is being worked on, and the format which I am going to share, and the material that will be in that format, and it will be shared with each one of you. And what is the material which will be available only for the book purpose, and it will not be shared by the with the participants of this particular series, because I've already said, we have already highlighted at the time when we were pronouncing these or announcing this webinar series. That time we were very clear that we are going to provide the PDF for the case laws and PDF for certain what I can say discussion material, but the detailed material or detailed analysis of the case law or the comments of the author will not be shared, because that is under copyright, and it is with the publications or the publisher's permission that I can do so. That is the purpose. So coverage will be of all the important judgments. Majority of the judgments will try to cover. Along with that, the reference judgments will certainly be there. And once you will look into the format, you will come to know that what kind of analysis and what kind of detailed discussion we are going to do. Then discussion on cases referred and principles laid down. Whatever cases were referred there, if any judgment is there, let's say in GST, there is a judgment pertaining to lapse of credit or transitional credits in the Siddharth Enterprises or at FERD. See, in all these cases, there is a reference of past judgments of Supreme Court, Honorable Supreme Court, in case of Da Vinci and all. So what we'll try to do is we'll try to analyze and understand the principles that were laid down in those discussions, along with the relevant paras of those discussions. So that can be helpful, and it can be a ready material, ready referencer for each one of us at the time when any litigation comes for that particular provision or for that particular issue. Then along with this, there are cases wherein the reference of allied laws are there. Say, for example, there may be a matter of arrest then CRPC will come. There may be a matter of search. Then again, the CPC can come. The judicial proceedings under 193 of the IPC and all those issues can come. Then the Indian Evidence Act, Transfer of Property Act, so far as easement definition, lease definitions are concerned. So there can be various allied laws which are to be discussed and which are referred in particular case law. Because if a term is not defined in a particular case law or in a particular act, then we are generally borrowing it either from General Clauses Act or from some other statute wherein it is defined. So that would be covered if a particular case law has been referred, and that case law covers the allied laws. We'll be trying to cover that also, and the reference of that allied laws along with the material, along with the relevant extract of the provisions we'll be dealing with. Then I also intend to cover the legal maxims which are used in the discussion in the case laws. There are n number of legal maxims which we as chartered accountants or lawyers are not aware of or are not using in our day-to-day life, but that is, and those legal maxims at times becomes very important. Like we are generally aware of mens rea, bona fide, because that is most of the times that is used, but there are thousands of legal maxims which may come across, which we may come across while discussing the case law. So I'll be discussing those legal maxims in brief, and we'll also compile a brief compilation of all the legal maxims which we'll be covering in the case laws once it is covered, and then it will be shared with all of you. Another thing that I intend to cover is like any contradictory judgment. If I say that there is a judgment of X court which says that interest has to be levied on gross, the interpretation says that interest has to be levied on gross, whereas the other high court says that interest has to be levied not on gross but on net amount. Then, and at the time of discussion of the original judgment which said that interest is to be levied on gross, I'll be referring, or I'll try to refer all those cases which are contrary to that particular judgment, because that may help us at like to find out within which or in which jurisdiction which case laws is applicable. Because as per my understanding, when it comes to high court, if there is any contradictory judgment in any other high court, then the issue of jurisdiction will come into play, and therefore that judgment will be applicable only within the jurisdiction of that particular high court and not to rest of the states. But in case wherein there are no contrary judgments, then in that case I would say, or rather I have a belief that it becomes a precedence and it becomes applicable to the entire country. So if any contrary judgments are there, we'll try to cover those judgments as well in detail, and try to discuss what the principles and what is the reason and what are the differences laid down in these two cases. So that is also the which we'll be covering. So this shows that almost all the areas of a particular judgment is intended to be covered. It starts from the judgment, it starts from the analysis of what sections and what provisions are challenged or are appealed against, what cases are referred there, and how those cases or principles are borrowed in this particular case law, whether any allied laws are referred. If yes, then which are those allied laws and what are the provisions which are relevant for this particular case law and how it is made relevant. Then if there are any legal maxims which are used in that particular judgment, how it is used and what is the purpose of using such kind of such legal maxims, like promissory estoppel, why it is used and why those what is the principle of estoppel. So we'll be understanding that also, so that we can cover the statutory interpretation up to that extent of legal maxim. Then if any contrary judgment, that also will be covering and discussing what are the principles which are laid in the case which we are discussing, as well as what are the principles and on what basis the difference has been in the delivery of the another judgment or the contrary judgment. And last but not the least, the current status of the case. Like if it is decided by an honorable high court, then what is the current status, whether it is appealed against by the department or challenged, or NSLP has been filed before the honorable Supreme Court or not. If it is filed, then what is the status, whether it has been stayed or not. So we'll try to cover that current status in as many cases as possible. So this is the entire coverage of our case law analysis, which I intend in the next 10 series or 10 sessions that we'll be covering. And it's certainly going to be a good learning exercise for all of us. And I also will try to learn various things out of this particular series. Now, this is the list of the documents or the material that we'll be providing to all the participants. One is PDF copy of a judgment. Like whatever judgments we are covering, we'll be providing a copy of that judgment so that you can have those judgments as a ready referencer. Then relevant materials such as relevant paragraph of referred cases, notifications, circulars, press releases, extract of provisions of allied laws. So the entire bunch, if any case is referred there, then which cases are referred, what were the principles in those cases, the relevant paragraph of all those case laws, the notifications, what notifications are challenged and what notifications are relevant and important there. Let me take an example. If we take an example of the judgment of AAPN company, wherein the GSTR 3B read with section 16 subsection 4 was challenged, or rather a press release was challenged. In that there were various notifications also which were relevant, like 10/2017, wherein it was said that GSTR 3B is to be filed in lieu of GSTR 3. Then 17/2017, I think, wherein it was amended retrospectively that GSTR 3B is not in lieu of, but it is to be filed when there is a extension of due date for filing GSTR 1 and GSTR 2. So all those notifications, if there is any circular press release like 18th October 2018 press release which we have challenged, so all those things will also be provided to the participants. And if any allied laws are referred, then the extract of the provisions of such allied laws, so that you have a ready reference of the entire thing, and it is available with you and it can be used at any time in future. Then we will be providing the PDF copy of the material which is authored by me, and the entire material will be provided except the detailed analysis portion, where we will be doing the research work, and it will be the part of the book that is going to be issued and released, and the author's comment. So these things we have already expressed in the opening remarks also, that we will not be providing to any of the participants. This will be published in the due course of time, and it will be released across the country, so you can have the use of that in the book. Recorded videos will be available for 30 days. All the videos of all the sessions of the series will be available for you for 30 days. Now there are two issues into this. One is whether the video to be uploaded after the session, like immediately, maybe on the same day or maybe on the next day, whether it has to be uploaded or made available immediately, or the second case can be that after the completion of the series we upload the videos for 30 days. So I would require suggestions of all of you for this, because what I feel is, like, at times when we are aware that the videos are anyways going to be provided, then we avoid to attend the live sessions. But as for me, the live session is live and the recorded sessions are recorded only. So but when I speak about webinar, and which is not a meeting wherein you can also ask questions to me and I can answer, so recorded video are on the same platform. So many of us would prefer not to attend, and they can watch the videos at their own like leisure and at their own wish. जब भी उनके पास टाइम अवेलेबल होगा वो देखेंगे. So I don't want that to happen. I want the entire series to be done when we all are live. So videos are merely for the purpose wherein if there is any connection problem, there is any emergency because of which we could not attend it, so we can refer it again. Or when we want to refer something which we have attended while attending the live session and which we could not remember, if we want to do that and see a view of the speaker, in that case the videos are relevant. But it cannot be that you refer only the recorded videos and not attend the live. So I intend that all of us should be live. We should attend live sessions. Still, I'm open and I would seek your suggestions, that please give suggestions whether we should upload it immediately or we should upload after the completion of the entire series. Now, friends, another announcement will be that the entire material of the series, like one session, like we are starting first session on 9th of May. So 9th May itself, after the session is completed, within 1 hour, within 2 hours, like in the same day, you will get a mail, and that mail will contain the entire material. You can download that material and you can use those that material wherever and whatever and in whatever means you want to use. So that will be on a daily basis. Even if you are not attending live, then also you will get the material. But recorded videos I intend to upload after the completion of the series for 30 days. So still, as I said, I am open. You give your suggestions, accordingly we will work out. And compilation of legal maxims, this also will be provided. So meaning or in brief, we'll be discussing about the legal maxims which we have discussed while discussing 50 or 40 or whatever case laws we are able to cover, because we will not hurry up. I will be ready with a number of judgments, but as per the availability of time and as per the discussions, we'll cover the judgments. Don't worry if we are able to cover 40 judgments, but all those 40 will be very relevant and it will be discussed in detail, so that that particular issue will be covered to a larger extent. तो वो इशू से रिलेटेड कभी भी आपको कोई इशू कभी भी कुछ आएगा सामने, तो एटलीस्ट यू विल हैव अ रेफरेंस, ready reference which you can refer and you can argue your matter or defend your matter. So that is the purpose of this particular series. It is not having the purpose wherein around 900 cases are there of high courts, around 200 cases are there of AAAR, appellate authorities of advanced ruling, around 800 cases again of AAAR, authority of advanced ruling, around 50 cases are there of Supreme Court. So we are not in a position or in a hurry to cover 2000 matters or 2000 cases. We will be only intending to cover the most important matters pertaining to the section. So as I will again repeat that we have divided 250 sections of these 4 laws: CGST, IGST, UTGST, and the compensation into 10 parts, all the sections. So first 25 will take for the first session. So this is what you can also refer. First 25 for first session, let's say. So in those 25 sections, whatever is important, we'll take up that, we'll find out, let's say around 25 cases from each lot. Out of those 25, I'll work out on the or best 15, and then those 10 or 15 will be shared with all of you. So in this fashion, we'll try to cover all the sections GST law wherein there is a dispute as on date, and that has been before that dispute is before the court of law. So it is not कि हम कुछ sections पे focus करेंगे, section 16 पे, section 140 पे transitional provision के लिए, या section 39 पे. We are not going to do that. We are going to cover the entire law. पूरा section 1 से section 174 तक whatever cases are there, we'll divide those cases into lots. ऐसा नहीं है कि section 16 में 500 cases हैं, 100 cases हैं, 50 cases हैं, या section 129 में 100 से ज़्यादा cases हैं, तो we'll cover 20 cases of that. Section 83 में 50 cases हैं, तो we'll cover 20 cases of that. No, we'll be dividing this entire book, entire act into 10 sessions: CGST, IGST, UTGST, and compensation cess. It will be divided into the totality of the sections will be divided into 10 parts. Then it will be lots. Us lots में से will be searching out the important cases. Out of those important cases, we will search out the top 10 or 15, and that will be discussed in the series. So therefore, everything which pertains to that particular provision of the law will be covered. That is my intention in this workshop. Plus, if any legal maxims are there, if any referred cases are there, if whatever is the relevant notification circulars, we'll try to cover. So it is going to be an exhaustive exercise. ऐसा नहीं है कि कहीं से भी केस उठाया और आपको एक बार उसका ब्रीफ कर दिया. This will involve a lot of research work and a lot of involvement of time. But I intend to do so because I want to learn along with all of you. So that is the intention. If any suggestions are there, you can post those suggestions. We'll try to incorporate it. These are the details of sessions. Introductory session, we are doing it today on 4th of May. Then regular sessions, we, as per our commitment, will start from 9th May, every Saturday and Sunday. The reason of keeping every Saturday and Sunday is like, maybe, although I am sure, or I am of the view that this lockdown is not going to be over, at least till 31st of May. But still, what I've done is, till 17th May, it is already extended. So till 17th May, the timings are fixed 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Post 17th May, if the lockdown opens and the court opens and the offices opens, then we'll shift this timings maybe in the early morning from 9 to 10:30 or 8:30 to 10, whatever, as per the suggestions of all of you and the comfort of all of you. And if at all the lockdown extends, then we'll keep for Saturday and Sunday 10 to 11:30 a.m. That will be regular timings. Now, why Saturday and Sunday? Because many requests I have received wherein they are asking for either very early morning or late evening. Now, till 16th May, I do have a series which we already are running on, like on the section-wise analysis 31-day series. It will be ending around 15th or 16th of May, and thereafter, I also intend within a week's time we'll be starting the series for rules. So therefore, evening timing we are blocking and keeping for the sessions which are pertaining to the sections and rules, and in the morning with fresh mind we'll be discussing the case laws. So morning is confirmed that we will be keeping in the morning and only, but the timings can be changed depending on the lockdown. If it is extended, then the same thing can be continued. If it is not extended, then we will have our own office schedules and accordingly we'll try to manage it in the early morning. And then I intend to also have two additional sessions, which is on 13th and 14th of June, last two sessions. And in these sessions, we'll be discussing either the cases which are left out or the queries which you have, or some of the important other allied laws, maybe some provisions pertaining to it. It depends like what coverage and how you all and we all are learning, and accordingly how the queries are coming up. So accordingly, 13th and 14th, the timings will be decided later as per the convenience and wish of all of us. And as I said, that we'll be having a common WhatsApp group that contact any of these numbers. You can also note down the email ID. Legal ASHVA legal LEGAL dot sural.com. Now, friends, let me show you the format which we have prepared. This is the format which you will be having, and you will be getting the format for each case. I have not filled this format. This format will be given to AAP and Company versus Union of India. In this case, the issue was whether the GSTR 3B is a return under Section 39, or the specific challenge was we have challenged the press release dated 18th October 2019, wherein
सॉरी टू इंटरप्ट यू सर, आप स्क्रीन थोड़ी बड़ी कर सकते हैं क्या?
ओके, स्क्रीन बड़ी, नाउ इट्स ओके.
चलेगा. हाँ चलेगा.
Okay. So the issue that in present case, the issue was that whether the press release which was issued on 18th October 2018 was a valid press release or not, because that press release, one of the paragraphs of that press release was saying that the time limit which is specified in section 16 subsection 4 will be applicable, and even in case you are not able to file GSTR 3B for the year 2017-18 and claim the credit, you will lose the entire credit if you are unable to file by 20th October 2018, which was extended by 5 days, I believe. So we have challenged this press release wherein we have said that GSTR 3B cannot be a return under Section 39. We are not saying that it is not a return. but it is not a return under section 39, and therefore the options which are available, like there are two options for earliest of the two will be applicable for 16.4. One was the date of filing of return under section 39 for the month of September, or the date of filing of annual return. So we were intending, we had the contention that the date of filing of annual return in this case will be the last date till which I can take the credit, or the credit which I could not take in the relevant period. So 2017-18 का क्रेडिट में जब तक मैं 17-18 का एनुअल रिटर्न नहीं भरता तब तक मैं क्रेडिट ले सकता हूं, unless GSTR 3 comes into play, and GSTR 3's due date will become the due date for September month for 2018-19, which will be applicable for 16.4. So that was our contention. So what was the principle laid down? In that case, it can be said that principle was laid down that GSTR 3B is not a return under section 39. It was pronounced by the Honorable Court. What is going to be the relevant statute, act, rules, reference in that particular case law, press release, circular, everything will be noted in that, in this compendium. Then relevant section, rule, notification. So whatever is relevant will be having that detail also. The petitioner, which is APN Company Chartered Accountants, Respondents Union of India, the petition number, citation. Most of the cases citation will be blank because we are not going to borrow any citations of Taxman or SC Online or CCH. No such citations will be mentioned. It will be the petition number will be giving, plus the order also will be giving, which is the court, whether the bench is a single member bench or a division bench, date of order, what is the date of the order, and in favor of whether the order was in favor of assessee or petitioners, because the book that we are compiling will be in two parts. One will be in favor of the assessee, all the judgments which are in favor of the assessee, and the other one will be all the judgments in favor of the revenue, so that it can be bifurcated in section wise. You can read it. Then head note of the judgment. So a judgment a very brief that what was discussed and what was adjudicated by the Honorable Court. Then provision or issue under challenge. What was the exact provision that was under challenge? Then the facts of the case. Now we are going into detail of the case, facts of the cases. So the entire facts will be specified here in paragraphs. Arguments by the petitioner or the appellant. What arguments as a petitioner were laid before the Honorable Court, and what were the arguments of the respondents, like what submissions they have given, what affidavits they have given. We will be mentioning all those things in brief. In detail you can read in the judgment, but in brief we will be providing in this compendium. Then the cases referred, if any cases were referred there, then those cases also will be provided. Principles laid in the cases referred, whatever cases were referred in that particular case, all the principles that were laid. So we'll try to analyze those principles also, and we'll put in, like if I say Da Vinci, then we'll say that ITC becomes a vested right once you pay tax at the time of procurement of any goods or services which is available as an input tax credit. Then mere because of procedural lapses you cannot take away that vested right of mine. Or it can also be said that Eicher Motors, it can also be said that it becomes a property, a right to property, and therefore you cannot take away that right from me. So whatever the principles which were laid down and the relevant paragraphs of those wherein those principles were laid down in the referred cases, we'll try to highlight those also. Then moving further, allied laws. If there is a reference of criminal law, or if there is a reference of IPC or a reference of Indian Evidence Act, we'll try to cover, and the relevant provision of that particular allied laws which is referred in that particular case law will also be provided as a material. Legal maxims which are used, with a discussion in very brief because this cannot be discussed in detail. I do have a book which is Appeals and Litigations in Indirect Taxes. Appeals and Litigations in Indirect Taxes. In that book, we have a separate chapter for all the legal maxims, and we have a discussion on that. So you can refer that book also. Judgment, then the entire judgment will be providing. Important aspects of the case to be kept in mind. Just a brief outline, brief points wherein these are the issues and these are the points which you should keep in mind so as to remember this case. Current status of the case, whether the case has been further appealed against before the higher forum or not, and the appeal number if the matter is appealed against. Final status of the case, Like if I say about this case, which we are referring APN company, then it is stayed by the Honorable High Court, and Rule 61 Sub Rule 5, which was a relevant rule, which gives the invocation and the power of GSTR 3B, or which enables GSTR 3B, has been amended retrospectively by notification number so and so. So that is the final status of the case as on date. So this status may change because we are already before the Honorable Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court may take the decision which is otherwise. And we have challenged this retrospective amendment also before the Honorable Supreme Court. Now, these two cases which you are seeing that are highlighted, detailed analysis of the case and the comments of the author. These two cases will not be provided. I'm sorry, this will not be provided for the participants of this particular series, because this will be the part of the book which we are going to release maybe in July. So these two things, I'll have a restriction in sharing. I'll not sharing this. And this is how the cases will be provided, like the PDF copies of the entire judgment, and whatever will be important in these judgments, we'll be trying to highlight those things, and we'll share with all of you. And that will be provided along with the material. And not only this, the case laws, the referred case laws, and the notifications, relevant notifications, the press releases, whatever is relevant for this particular case law, we'll be providing all those case laws. Let me take an example. Maybe there was a judgment of, this is a judgment which is of Madras High Court in Precourt Meridian Limited, was argued by me before the Honorable Madras High Court Madurai bench. This judgment was pertaining to the refund in case of zero rated supplies, wherein I have what I can say, I have claimed the higher duty drawback in place of lower duty drawback for the months July, August, and September. And the court have said that there is no provision in the law. A circular cannot override. A circular cannot override the statute. And there was a principle which was borrowed from the case law. I'll just mention this. This is a case law of Central Excise Bolpur versus Ratan Melting and Wire Industries. So herein the principles was mentioned. So what we'll do, we'll cover this referred case along with the principle which is laid down and the relevant paragraph of that particular judgment. And obviously the principle which is laid in the current case. So how common they are and what common principles are coming out of these cases. So you will be in a position to understand those things, and you will also have the reference of the other materials also, or other cases also, which are pronounced by the honorable courts at various points in time. So that is the intention. And in this case also, this was judgment, and then it was referring a judgment of the GST regime, Amit Cotton Industries. This was a judgment which I have referred, was a judgment wherein a principle was declared that a circular cannot override a statute. It is not a binding law on the authorities or the court, and therefore the court are free to take the cognizance of the law and decide the matter or adjudicate the matter accordingly. And then this similar kind of judgment in GST was in case of Amit Cotton Industries, which is a Honorable Gujarat High Court division bench judgment, wherein it was said that yes, the refund has to be given, and this circular which was referred by the department in their contentions or in their affidavit, circular number 37 of 2018, was not a circular which was appropriate, and it cannot restrict the provision of the law, and the provision of the law nowhere says that in case a higher duty drawback is claimed, cannot, or the refund cannot be allowed, or refund can be denied. So because of this, the petition was allowed for this petitioner, and we got this matter settled. So this is how we are going to cover the entire series. So friends, that was my intention of having this session, wherein I could share with you what intention I have, why I have launched this course, and what is the purpose of having this course, and what we are finally intending to learn with the movement or with the progress of this course. Or each session will be a new session. We'll be learning a new thing on a new case law. But believe me, friends, we are trying to divide the entire law into various sessions, and the entire law and the important cases pertaining to the entire law is supposed to be covered. So as for me, this is going to be a wonderful learning for me and for all of us together. So we'll be creating a webinar, this WhatsApp group, and you will be updated about the movement and the progress of this particular series. If any suggestions you have, you can share those suggestions on any of these numbers or on the email ID, which is ashwalegal .surat@gmail.com. So please share your suggestions, or you can share in the WhatsApp group also, and we'll be starting from 10 a.m. on Saturday. So friends, let us meet on Saturday. Till that time, stay home, stay safe, stay healthy. Thanks a lot, friends. Thanks for the opportunity, and thanks for participating in this series. And I believe and I hope that this series is going to be a wonderful series for all of us together. Thank you, friends. Thanks a lot.